You're watching KATV Channel 7, the spirit of Arkansas. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
Governor Huckabee offers to amend his controversial campaign finance reports for a price. Good evening to you. I'm Chris May.
And I'm Karen Fuller. Through his Fayetteville attorney, Governor Huckabee offered the Ethics Commission a deal today. Revise your policy and I'll amend my financial filings. It's a deal some say is just a slick political maneuver, but the governor's attorney says he's simply putting the matter in proper perspective in an effort to help the commission conduct its future investigations fairly. As Joan Early tells us, it's gone from a battle of ethics to outright finger-pointing.
As receptive as always, Governor Huckabee in Pine Bluff for a community forum didn't dodge our cameras, but he did dodge questions about his attorney's offer.
I think the thing at this point, I need to just really focus my attention on being governor and not trying to answer every charge and criticism and let the lawyers do the lawyer thing. And that's what I'm going to do, is let them make these comments and deal with it. And I'm going to focus on being the very best governor I can be right now.
After distributing the governor's letter, his attorney, Thomas Mars, briefly discussed his client's motivation.
Well, back in 1991, Senator Hutchinson testified in a court proceeding that he was afraid the creation of an ethics commission would create and invite political witch hunts, particularly during election years. Unfortunately, recent events have proven that was a pretty accurate prediction.
In Mars's 8-page letter to the Ethics Commission, he elaborated that opinion by first chastising the way the commission has handled the complaints filed against Huckabee. Mars then went on to verbalize their deal by saying, quote, Governor Huckabee will voluntarily amend the reports he has filed under the provisions of the Ethics Act on the conditions that the commission gives the governor a hearing when matters concerning him are brought before them. Secondly, that the commission follows its own rules of practice and procedure. Thirdly, that the commission interprets those rules and procedures uniformly. And finally, that the commission issues the governor's advisory opinion. It's an opinion that would establish a statute of limitations on issues that can be brought before the Ethics Commission. Huckabee critic Pat Flanagan says the governor is simply trying to kill two birds with one stone.
The last thing that Governor Huckabee wants is people to get into how he managed money in 1994, but more especially in 1992. And have to look at what did he pay income taxes on and not pay income taxes on that year. What did he put on his financial disclosure statement and what did he leave off? There are some things there that have him in a box, and he's trying to get out of it right now.
Arkansas Times editor Max Brantley, the man who filed the first ethics complaints against the governor, says the governor is close, but it's no cigar.
He's issued an ultimatum to the Ethics Commission, and I don't know exactly where he gets off doing that, saying I'll amend these only if you agree to change your rules the way I think they ought to be changed.
The Ethics Commission says it's not changing anything until it meets on January the 29th. But Ethics Commission Director Bob Brooks says all members of the commission have received copies of that letter. Karen?
All right, an ongoing story. Joan, thank you. Chris?
An elderly Hot Springs woman is dead following a fire that destroyed her home this morning. The house was fully engulfed when firefighters arrived shortly after 3:30. A short time later, they found the body of 83-year-old Eunice Darrell Sharp lying on a hallway floor furnace. Investigators aren't sure if Sharp fell on the furnace before or after the blaze started, but they do believe the heating unit was responsible for the fire.
Furnaces can be very dangerous for the fact that it's very easy to have objects dropped into them or have objects placed over the top of them. Floor furnaces build up a lot of heat, and you know, they can easily ignite flammable objects. Anything from a toy to a piece of paper, clothing.
This was the second fatal fire involving a floor furnace in Hot Springs this year. Another fire in Little Rock leaves a family homeless. Around 8 o'clock this morning, Little Rock firefighters responded to a 2-alarm fire on Izzard Street. The flames ripped through the recently refurbished home and left it destroyed. Fire officials say the blaze started by a gas space heater in a bathroom that had been left on. No one was in the house when it started, and no one was injured.
Elsewhere, a man charged in the beating death of an England woman was back in court today. 20-year-old Jason Neal Gates is charged with capital murder in the death of 80-year-old Zena Petty. Petty was found beaten to death in her England home more than a year ago. Today, authorities discussed some pretrial motions. Gates' trial begins in 2 weeks, and Channel 7 News will be there. There is a good chance you know someone right now who's sick. We are right in the middle of the cold and flu season. But in the past couple of weeks, the bug has been biting worse than normal for the Cabot School District. Channel 7's Norris Dejan has our story.
So she said she wanted you to go ahead and check her temp while she was up here, and if she wasn't feeling good, to go ahead and give her a call.
The nurse's office at Cabot Junior High School has been like Grand Central Station lately because of ailing students. Absenteeism all over that school district has been higher than normal since last Wednesday. But the junior high was hit especially hard. Normal absenteeism here is about 5%. On Tuesday, it was around 23%. Now that's better than Monday when 291, or about 26% of the students missed school, many for the same reasons.
Upper respiratory, sinus problems. Some of the asthmatic children have had complications. Not that much documented type A influenza.
Teacher absenteeism is also higher than normal in Cabot. School officials say it's not an epidemic, but they are using disinfectant on things like desks and phones and encouraging a lot of hand washing and mouth covering.
Monitoring it very closely, looking for feedback from our nurses in the schools, feedback from our medical clinics in the community on the types of illnesses that they're seeing and the magnitude of it, that kind of thing. That's all we can do at this point.
Of course, they could also close schools, but right now there is no plan to do that, and things do appear to be getting better here in Cabot. We're told that was not the case today in Marshall, where 1 in 4 students was absent, and a lot of those students are displaying symptoms of the flu. For that reason, schools in Marshall were closed today and will be closed throughout the week. Karen and Chris.
All right, Norris Dejan live tonight from Cabot. Thank you, Norris.
Well, still ahead, could you be suffering from a simple eye problem or perhaps something more serious? You'll want to stay tuned for our Health Check 7 report.
And new presidential libraries are always a big attraction, but what about years down the line? Up next, we'll visit the Lyndon Johnson Library to find out how it's maintaining the interests of Texas tourists.
We'll be right back.
Channel 7 News at 6, brought to you by Hankey Brothers Siding and Windows Incorporated, Coleman Dairy, Landers, and tonight's Health Check 7 report is brought to you by UAMS Medical Center. Closed captioning sponsored by Southwestern Bell.
Our January sale has become just as much a tradition as the quality and service we provide every month throughout the year. This year, the tradition continues in a special way. For the first time, we're offering a 20% discount on siding and windows. Our industry is typically slow this time of year, and it's important to our workforce to stay busy during the winter months. I'm inviting you to call us in January so that we can explain the details of the best opportunity we've ever been able to offer.
At Coleman Quality Check Dairy, we reach for the top to bring you taste this big. Experience the fresh taste of Coleman Quality Checked Lower Fat Milk every day. And reach for a healthy glass. Reach for Coleman Quality Checked Lower Fat Milks. Higher standards, fresh taste.
When you think Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, Eagle, you think Landers. Landers is known for the greatest selection, lowest prices, and the convenience of one-stop shopping. Come see the brand new Dodge Durango, roomier quad cab Ram trucks, and the totally redesigned Intrepid. Remember, there's only one dealership whose reputation is beyond reproach, and that dealership is Landers.
You feel good about Landers.
It's not just about saving money. It's about spending time, just dropping by, and creating bonds, rather than simply buying them. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams. Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
Now the news continues with Karen Fuller, Chris May, meteorologist Ned Fermi with live Doppler 7 radar, and Paul Eels on sports. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
Pulaski County businesses and organizations will take part in the President's Call to Action on Volunteerism. Today, the mayors of Pulaski County and County Judge Buddy Valines announced a volunteer summit for mid-February. The goal is to develop a 3-year action plan to impact thousands of young people. Representatives of county agencies, businesses, and organizations will work out a strategic plan to reach out to local kids, encouraging them to grow into healthy and civic-minded adults.
A few years from now, Little Rock will be home to the nation's 11th presidential library. With that responsibility comes the likely rewards a city with a library receives. Austin, Texas is home to the LBJ Library and Museum. Since it opened back in 1971, the city has seen an average of about 450,000 visitors every year. At the library. This library is connected to the University of Texas in Austin, and that has helped draw students to the exhibit. On a recent trip, the director told me it's important to a library's reputation to have the president's heritage presented in complete fact and not propaganda.
Now, that isn't to say that the exhibits in a library will not perpetuate the memory of a president and the programs, and it should. But I don't think these institutions should be in any way public relations outlets for the president or the president's family. I don't think they should proselytize.
For that reason, Middleton says President Johnson insisted the library contain actual letters written by Americans quite unhappy with his work. Tonight at 10, you'll hear some of those choice words from one of the citizens, and we'll also take a look at the long-term effects of a library on a city like Austin.
Well, don't get too used to the sunshine. Ned says that rain is on the way.
He'll have the complete 7-day outlook when we come back.
Voice your choice. Camrys with light equipment. Or loaded up heavy. Take your pick at Prestige Toyota. 98 Camrys maxed out with all these features.
$288 a month.
Or 98 Camrys for the little less.
Just $249 a month.
Your Camry, your choice. Plus, well-equipped 98 Corollas are just $199 a month. You must buy from Prestige or you'll pay too much. Prestige Toyota, the Toyota giant of Arkansas.
Right now at Rally's, 2 big Bufords, only $3. That's right, not one, but 2 big Bufords for only $3.
Oh, let's eat.
I think the power of the Phantom is phenomenal.
Presenting the powerful Phantom Thunder vacuum cleaner.
It almost looks like your carpet shampoo.
The secret is the Phantom Vacuum's patented dual cyclonic action. Constant full cleaning power, and this easy-to-empty bin eliminates filter bags. It also comes with a certified HEPA filter.
People are going to love to clean.
Call now for a free video and brochure. Get the Phantom Thunder and eliminate filter bags forever.
Neither ice, nor sleet, nor snow can stop Jeep Grand Cherokee's full-time four-wheel drive. We engineered it that way. Because you never know what's going to freeze over next. Now get 4.8% financing or a $339 a month lease on Grand Cherokee at your Jeep dealer.
It's been so pleasant, and now apparently it's not going to be as pleasant.
Well, we've got clouds and rain to talk about, and they're coming in one right after the other. But the timing of this next system is going to be good for people who are looking for a pretty nice weekend, because it looks like after this gets in and out on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see some clearing skies that should last all the way through Sunday, and slightly warmer temperatures as well. I've got a real interesting, kind of a tough weather school question tonight, because when you think about it, any one of these could possibly be the answer. But think hard, and let's look at the question tonight. Of the following cities, which one has the highest mean wind speed on average annually? Of the following cities, the one with the highest mean wind speed on average annually is Buffalo, New York, B, Chicago, Illinois, or C, Miami, Florida. And we'll have the answer. And the observations coming up. Temperatures 48 right now. And the humidity at 66% at the Weather Center downtown. Steady barometer, wind southeast at 8. We have cloudy skies. 50 degrees was the high. 7:14, it will be the sunrise time tomorrow, obscured by lots of clouds that are already increasing across the state of Arkansas. Temperature 50 at Fort Smith, 52 at Pine Bluff, 50 at Helena, 54 degrees at Hot Springs, 52 at Texarkana, 57 and cloudy at El Dorado, and mid-40s in from central into the northeastern sections of the state at this hour. Well, the eastern half of the country, you can see a pretty well-defined low-pressure area that started over the Carolinas, working its way up the coastline. It's still deepening and gathering strength, and it's pulling moisture and some light snow back in through northern New England. At the same time, we have another low-pressure area that is organizing, and this is going to be our weather maker. It's sitting up over southern Nebraska and northern Kansas at this hour. It's not real strong, doesn't have a whole lot of moisture to work with at the present time. However, that's going to change because as this low-pressure area moves our way, we are going to see definitely moisture on the increase later on tonight thanks to southeasterly winds that are increasing, and of course you can see the moisture out ahead of it. The cold front right here through Oklahoma is scheduled at the present track to move into northwestern Arkansas at midnight. By tomorrow morning at 6 in the morning, it's expected to be, or I should say by noon tomorrow, is expected to be from Little Rock south to north to Jonesboro and south to Texarkana, and then on through the state by tomorrow night. It will be picking up enough moisture to cause some showers and maybe even a few thunder showers across the southern counties. As far as rain is concerned, nationally, some light snow continues around that low pressure area over the northern plain states, also over New England, some light showers in southern Florida, and the rest of the nation pretty much on the dry side. Here comes the front through our region. We're going to see showers, and even down along the Gulf Coast, possibility of some thunderstorms tomorrow. A little light snow back in behind it through northern sections of Texas, and for us, just gradual drying out as the day wears on Thursday, but we will see some showers to start the day. Temperatures tomorrow ahead of the front will be in the 50s, mostly cloudy. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers with a low temperature of 43 degrees. There's nothing on live Doppler 7 radar at this hour. Then for tomorrow morning, look for a 30% chance of showers, a little more numerous in the western counties. 8 o'clock reading around 45. Tomorrow's high 51 degrees with a 60% chance of rain, maybe a few thunder showers in the southern counties. Same for tomorrow night as the front continues to move through the state. Low of 42. And changes start on Thursday. Rain during the morning, 60% probability, clearing by afternoon. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dry with readings a bit above normal in the 50s, lows at night in the 30s primarily. Now, here's the answer to tonight's weather school question. The city with the highest mean wind speed is Buffalo, New York, with 12.4 miles an hour. Chicago close behind at 10.3, and Miami is 9.2. But when you think about it, any of those could have been a winner, but Buffalo is the answer.
All right, sinking in.
Thanks, Ned.
Our Health Check 7 report is coming up.
Tonight, we focus on a serious vision problem that can't be corrected with contacts or glasses.
Voice your choice. Camrys with light equipment. Or loaded up heavy. Take your pick at Prestige Toyota. 98 Camrys maxed out with all these features.
$288 a month.
Or 98 Camrys for the little less.
Just $249 a month.
Your Camry, your choice. Plus well-equipped 98 Tacoma extra cabs are just $226 a month. You must buy from Prestige or you'll pay too much. Prestige Toyota, the Toyota giant of Arkansas.
Where can you find a quality home, one that's built to last, where you can find quality construction and money-saving options like 6-inch walls, heavy-duty insulation, and dual thermal windows? Where can you find a home so affordable that your monthly payments will be about the same as you pay in rent, maybe even less? A home with all the amenities and modern conveniences you can imagine, jacuzzis, fireplaces, and so much more. Where can you find a beautiful quality home like this? Welcome to the new world of manufactured homes.
It's hard to be happy about hail damage, but you will be when you come to RV City in Benton and see how much these luxury units have been discounted. Some are selling at cost, some below cost, and all rebates apply. That's right, factory coupons. We started with 27 units, but they'll go in a hurry. So come on now. And remember, these are all at the Benton RV City location, but you get great product, great value, great service every time you deal with RV City, Benton and Pine Bluff.
All Ford dealers have the Expedition. All Ford dealers have the Mustang. All Ford dealers have the same factory incentives and rebates. The difference? Landers Ford has the best selection, over 1,000 vehicles to choose from, the best service, and absolutely the lowest prices in the state. So why would you shop for a Ford anywhere but Landers?
You feel good about Landers.
you have a problem reading in low light, or has your vision gotten blurry as you've aged? Well, if so, you may have a problem that can't be corrected. Here's more in this week's Health Check 7. Like many functions of the body, our vision can deteriorate over time. When it falls between what's considered normal vision and blindness, doctors call it low vision.
Low vision really applies when people can't be corrected with glasses or contact lenses to 20/20 or close to 20/20 or normal vision.
Low vision can be brought on by a gradual deterioration of the eye lining known as macular degeneration. Other causes include inherited diseases, diabetes, glaucoma, cataracts, and the unavoidable process of aging. A person with low vision has a problem seeing detailed objects at close range. They seem distorted, out of focus, or not visible at all.
It's rare that they have a total blind spot in the center. They just can't, if they look at a newspaper, for example, just cannot make out the print unless it's very, very large.
And that makes detail-oriented jobs like reading almost impossible. Since low vision can't be corrected, doctors consider vision maintenance their best treatment.
Our aim is to use the vision they still have and use devices and techniques to allow them to see differently, but to function in ways like they used to.
And next week, we will look at some of the devices that doctors use to help enhance vision. But first, as we continue our series on eye care, a couple more eye care myths. First, wearing the wrong kind of glasses hurts your eyes. Well, that is false. While correct glasses help you see clearly, wearing the wrong glasses or not wearing glasses at all will not physically damage your eyes, except for children less than 8 years old. And this one, eating carrots improves your vision. Well, believe it or not, that is false. Carrots are rich in vitamin A, which is essential for sight, but other sources of vitamin A in your diet provide more than enough for your vision.
Interesting. Up next in sports, UALR coach Wimp Sanderson shares his thoughts on last weekend's Trojan win and looks ahead to their next matchup with New Orleans.
Sports is next.
Two shots, flying ball.
For the 7th year in a row, Arkansas has chosen North Point, its #1 Ford dealer. Why? Great people to serve you, a great selection, and great prices. Like 98 Mustangs for $13,990, 98 Escorts just $10,990, and 98 Taurus SE for just $15,990. Visit North Point Ford today and see why all of Arkansas has made us #1 again.
'Cause Ford is what I drive.
Tomorrow on the next Daybreak.
Okay, pop quiz. Do you have any credit cards that are below 8% interest? Well, if not, get a pen and paper ready. We're going to show you how to get one on Daybreak.
Plus, Steve Howell meets Barney the dinosaur in our Route 7 report.
Tomorrow morning at 5:30.
Back off, everybody, back up. If you were involved in this, we got to know about it. He died trying to help me.
I try to do my job, and that sweet little girl is told to hate me. I apologize for using that word about your father.
After 100 episodes of flashing their badges, they just keep getting better and unforgettable. NYPD Blue, ABC tonight. Viewer discretion advised.
For the first time ever, $169 a month, 0 down on a brand new 1998 Chevy S10. That's an S10 loaded with air, anti-lock brakes, AM/FM cassette, and all this. $169 a month, 0 down on the Truck Consumers Digest named a Best Buy for 1998. Or take a big $1,500 cash back. Plus, an extra shipment of thousands of S10s means selection is better than ever. See your Arkansas Super Chevy dealers today. Hurry.
Paul joins us now. The Trojans hoping to repeat that success.
Yes, great win on the road, and particularly at Western Kentucky, where it's very, very difficult to win at Diddle Arena, yeah. Going into Thursday night's game with New Orleans here in Little Rock, Wimp and the UALR Trojans are sporting a winning Sun Belt record now of 4-3, thanks to a superb performance on the road against the Hilltoppers on Sunday. Jeff Wingfield had an opportunity to visit with Wimp and the Trojans today.
Wimp may be pushing his UALR Trojans just a little bit harder now, not because they played poorly against Western Kentucky, because they played well.
You know, I think our guys have made some progress. They've worked awfully hard, and
you know, they're representing the city and the state.
And they did that very well on Sunday. Coming from 9 down in the second half, UALR forced 2 overtimes to eventually beat Western Kentucky by 1, thanks in part to Sherman Lusk's career-high 20 points.
My teammates said, well, we have confidence in you, and we need some big threes down the stretch, so I just had to try to go out and do that.
And if there is such a thing as being in the zone, that's where Sherman was on Sunday.
It's not a myth. It happens to every player at least once in their life.
And Wimp wants you to come out and help the Trojans create a home crowd zone, the first of 4 straight home games Thursday night.
Now I wish the people would come out and support this team because they're, you know, I don't know what's going to happen if you get blown out, but I do think that they're improving some.
Following the Trojans for Channel 7 Sports, I'm Jeff Wingfield.
UALR faces New Orleans at 7:05 Thursday out at the Coliseum. Get on out early and support UALR outstanding basketball team, very young one that's coming along by leaps and bounds. No game is less important or more important than another when it's measured with the goals that you set for your team. But tomorrow night's Arkansas trip into Auburn, Alabama is one of those games that you'll label most likely one that's very, very important, not only to keep you in the conference race, but a trip to the NCAA tournament. Auburn has just buried Alabama by 50 and now shares first place with the Hogs and Ole Miss in the West.
Auburn is a team that is half-court. They'll defense you, and then they'll run with opportunity. And, boy, they get fired up in that building over there, and they shoot the ball from the perimeter very well. There's not very many teams in our league that don't shoot it pretty good from the perimeter. We were fortunate the other night to hold Kentucky from hitting a lot of those threes, but we're certainly going to have to do the same thing with Auburn.
No TV of the game, but we'll have highlights tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Lester Earl at one time played for LSU. He transferred to Kansas, sat out a year. The NCAA is now saying that he was paid while at LSU. The investigation also says Earl's family received improper aid. The NCAA says the violations occurred between 1993 and 96 under Dale Brown. He was kicked off the team by Brown in December of 96 for violating team rules. No decision has been made concerning his play at Kansas in the meantime.
We have to react responsibly and be held accountable, but remember, and it's very important, these are allegations, and it's now our obligation to see how many of them are in fact true.
We're going to work through this. Am I glad I'm the basketball coach at LSU? You bet I am. And had I known it was like this when I came, I'd have still taken the job. So nothing's changed as far as where I'm sitting.
Super Bowl news tonight at 10.
Okay, Paul.
Can't wait.
Thanks. We'll see you then. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 119 points. Gainers led decliners by 2 to 1.
The NASDAQ Composite Index gained 21 points.
In an environment this extreme, choosing the right transportation is absolutely crucial. That's why most people choose Jeep Cherokee Sport with legendary 4-wheel drive and 190 horses. So choose wisely.
Mush, Beefy, mush!
Otherwise, it could be a very long winter. Now lease Cherokee for $259 a month and get all this at no extra charge. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
You wake me so gently in the morning. You're so beautiful, you take my breath away. Hot Springs, I just can't wait to see you.
Get away to Hot Springs National Park. For your free value-packed Hot Springs vacation planner, call 1-800-SPA-CITY now.
Hot Springs, I just can't wait to see you.
Did you get your Pop-Tart? Yeah, Mom. Hey, Mrs. B. Your toaster strudel, sir. You're too kind.
Pillsbury Toaster Strudel is like a Pop-Tart, but better, with layers of flaky pastry, juicy filling, and do-it-yourself icing.
So what do you do with the Pop-Tarts?
Something better just popped up in your grocer's freezer. Pillsbury Toaster Strudel.
Voice your choice. Camrys with light equipment. Or loaded up heavy. Take your pick at Prestige Toyota. 98 Camrys maxed out with all these features.
$288 a month.
Or 98 Camrys for the little less.
Just $249 a month.
Your Camry, your choice. Plus, well-equipped 98 Corollas are just $199 a month. You must buy from Prestige or you'll pay too much. Prestige Toyota, the Toyota giant of Arkansas.
Governor Huckabee has scheduled an execution for convicted murderer Charles Singleton. We'll have more on that story tonight at 10.
Also at 10, does the government know the identity of one of the unknown soldiers? Well, tonight, find out why the family of a Vietnam War veteran believes his remains are in the tomb of the unknown soldier.
We hope you join us tonight after NYPD Blue for Channel 7 News at 10.
We'll see you then.
Channel 7 News at 6. Brought to you by Hankey Brothers Siding and Windows Incorporated, Coleman Dairy, Landers, and tonight's Health Check 7 report has been brought to you by UAMS Medical Center.
A credit card offer.